Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. We're pleased to see so many of you here today. We're here as UConn students to talk about our excitement for the Next Generation Connecticut proposal, which would be a tremendous step towards not only making UConn one of the very best public universities, but also towards getting Connecticut's economy going again. My name is Michael Daniels, and I'm the External Affairs Chair of the University of Connecticut Undergraduate Student Government in Stores. Our student government, speaking as the official voice of UConn students, has endorsed Next Generation Connecticut because if approved, it will have long-term benefits for our entire state. Now, as students, we know that our science facilities are out of date. In 2011, there was a false report of a robbery at the Torrey Life Science Building, and we all said, of course it was a false report. Who would want to steal 50-year-old microscopes? See, if we're going to prepare Connecticut's workforce for the jobs of tomorrow, we have to have state-of-the-art science buildings where students can learn from the very best professors who will now find UConn a more attractive place to teach. We will expand enrollment, primarily among students studying science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, because those are the fields where jobs are growing. But we are confident that this plan will benefit every UConn student, regardless of their major. Adding new faculty through this program will help continue to lower the student-to-faculty ratio, which will help UConn rise in the national rankings of public universities, joining schools like Berkeley, Michigan, and Virginia near the top. The additional investment will help us make the most of the Bioscience Connecticut initiative and the UConn Tech Park. We'll have the opportunity not just to create a specific number of jobs at Jackson Laboratories, but an entire industry of high-tech, cutting-edge employment. We can create a research triangle between Stores, Farmington, and New Haven, much like the one that exists in North Carolina. And there's a hockey team that plays down there instead of a few blocks from here because they made these kinds of investments when we did not. If you care about this capital city, you'll be pleased to know that Next Generation Connecticut will move our outdated West Hartford campus right here to downtown Hartford. This, combined with expanded new housing and the iQuilt program, the Link to Cindy's amenities, will bring a new era to Hartford, where people will not only work here, but want to live here and spend time here. Our Stanford campus will also be improved, with students getting an opportunity to live there for the first time. There will also be a new program in digital media and design, and our students and faculty members will get the opportunity to interact with the business community in Stanford and throughout Fairfield County. Now, to those who reasonably ask, can we afford this right now? I say we cannot afford to wait any longer. This is not a plan that's picking winners and losers. It is a victory for everyone in Connecticut. A victory for students whose degrees will be more valuable. A victory for employers who will have a better educated workforce from which to choose. And a benefit for taxpayers who stand to see a return on their investment. We've long prided ourselves on our steady habit of Yankee ingenuity, but we are falling behind. Now is the time to, again, make Connecticut the leader in innovation, and we have to take this opportunity now for our generation and for the next generation of Connecticut. As UConn students, we've got some pretty heated rivalries with other schools, and so sometimes it's a little unsettling that our university president went to Duke and our governor went to Boston College. But I think with the two of them coming together with this proposal to help us, we feel a little more comfortable about them and their loyalty to UConn. And so, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the governor of our great state of Connecticut, Dannel P. Malloy.
In politics, there's an adage that you never want to appear after the young woman who sings the Star-Spangled Banner. Now I don't want to appear after you. What a great telling of the story and the great reasons that this project needs to move forward. This is important for everybody. This is important for every generation. This is important for every job that will be retained or created in the state of Connecticut. You know, the University of Connecticut is a fantastic place, but for too long it's been too small, and for too long it has failed to invest in STEM, and we're going to change that, and that's what this proposal is about. To enlarge the engineering graduation number of graduates by 70%, STEM overall by 47%, to move Stores forward, so that we can be assured that we don't simply do as we do in Connecticut too often and celebrate the past. The past being that we were leaders in innovation, or or that we were leaders in the granting of patents, but that we build a future. That we build a future that will allow us to succeed in future endeavors, in future innovations to be made, and future inventions to be made. New jet engines, new aerospace parts, new biomedical. All of these things are dependent on us doing the right thing for our flagship state university. This is not a knock on where it is now. This is a promotion that it needs to be in the top 10 of public universities in the United States. That it needs to grow the number of graduates at Storrs by 5,000, down in Stanford by 1,500. We need to move that campus from West Hartford to Hartford and enlarge that campus as well. These are things that will allow Connecticut to compete with the other states of the nation and the other nations of the world. Now, we've got a lot of work to do, and this is only a portion of what we have to do. But for 22, 23 years straight, Connecticut was a non-job grower because we failed to make the kinds of investments that were just referenced. This endeavor in North Carolina is 30 years old. The endeavor around 128 in Boston is 40 years old. The investments made in some of the other great public universities have preceded this one. We know it will work because we've seen it work in other states, and we've seen those states take our jobs, or our ideas, or for that matter, our graduates. This is about the future of the University of Connecticut and the future of Connecticut. It is about whether we're going to compete again or whether we're going to simply accept that we cannot compete. Now, I got to be very clear. I believe we can. In fact, I believe we can beat the pants off of most other state systems. I believe that we can be job creators again. I believe that we can lead in innovation. I believe that the engineers coming out of these programs, the STEM graduates coming out of these programs, the digital media graduates coming out of these programs will ultimately be the leaders in America in all of the industries that they touch. But it will only happen if we make this investment. If this relationship that state government and the University of Connecticut has forged over the last few years lives for many years to come because we're celebrating our successes. That's what this is about. That's why you're here. That's why it's got to move forward. Let's get it done.